the last time I made a video like this product was an Oceans page. And all it was instructions, hyperlinks, and telling you to copy and paste stuff to a Google Doc. So we have come a long way. And I'm going to walk through this process, just kind of starting off, right? Like you kind of have your entry. This is designed to look like a web app or like a mobile application. This is a web app. And yeah, so we're just going to, again, just walk through the process. You have a chance to either sign in as a Google sign in, or you have a chance to sign in as a guest. If you sign in as a guest, it won't track any of your information. This is for people that you know are really sensitive around data and they don't want anything saved. If you sign in with Google, you do get a user dashboard which saves all your progress, any of the work that you've done. Um, I personally prefer that. We really like the only reason that there is a Google sign-in is just so that you have a place to save your work. Just because you could be spending 30 minutes here, you could be spending an hour. But yeah, either way, we'll go through it. I'm going to sign in with Google. Obviously, not going to show you like emails and stuff, but we'll pop in, or yeah, I'll follow up once we're back. Hey, so we're back, and I decided to make a profile real quick, just so that I didn't have to do it while like kind of walking through the process. This will just kind of speed up the process. I was already thinking like, man, I'm going to be thinking about this profile, what I want it to look like, and yeah, so spend a little time doing that just to save time on this video, and we're going to jump into it. So as you can see here, right, there's introversion, extroversion, amplifying question. Here, then you can kind of establish where you're at in life right now. Obviously, when you're building your profile, you want it to be accurate to who you are. But obviously, for the analysis process and just for the future work that you're doing, it's good to know where you currently stand, so that when the analysis is working through career options and then maybe even goes into further details with career insights, that it's aligning with where you stand rather than just giving kind of like general feedback. So we added this. As you can see here, if you choose your student, you get to select your education goal. If you're a grad or early career, you can then go and select what degrees, certifications. You can basically add in those things. You'll add in how much time you want to put on a weekly basis towards this new direction that you're taking, and then also what career are you coming from. From there, you select qualities. For this profile, I'm a college student, not really, but just kind of wanted to use that as the example. And yeah, so added some qualities, and from there, you then select strengths and your challenges. So right, you can go in, you observe, what all these items, and the most important thing is just finding what resonates with you, right? So you're gonna select what resonates with you here, select what resonates with you here. If for whatever reason you don't see an item here, like a strength that you may have, but you don't see it, we didn't want to include every single possible item. We wanted it to be pretty well rounded. But as you can see, right, there's going to be a lot of plus buttons, and any of these plus buttons will give you an opportunity to add in a custom strength, challenge, interest, value, yada yada. So yeah, so I added those. Then we go to values, right? You select your values. From there, you can then select your interest. So then I work through some interest. Maybe for an interest, I could add, just to kind of show you, right? I could do career development, and then right, so then that's a custom item that I added in that aligns with my interest. From here, then you can select your soft skills and then your hard skills. Your hard skills are the ones that you have to work for, so you may not have as many. That's totally fine. Just again, choose what resonates with you. From there, we then go into work preferences. What are the preferred, when it comes to your work preferences, right? Like, yeah, what are your preferences? What are the things that matter to you in a job? And then once you go through and select those items, then you go to ranking results. Now, some people who've gotten feedback aren't a huge fan of the ranking part. The reason that prioritizing what matters to you is important is because you could imagine, right? If you were, a career consultant, or a career counselor, whoever you're meeting with as a resource, it would be helpful to know, what do you feel like your top strengths are? What do you feel like your top interests are, skills, and so forth. So this is a way for you to evaluate. And also that's just a good skill as an executive functions coach. Evaluating is a great skill to build and practice. And this is an opportunity to do that. So once you're here, right, then you can use these toggles. If you were like, okay, I want to move this one up here, right, you can just change it real quick. And yeah, so I'm just going to do this kind of quickly. I'll add that as the top. Work preferences. All right, so we'll run with what we have right here. I'll maybe shift this one down. As you can see, I didn't do this part of the generating new ideas. That's my favorite. All right, so then you have your ranking section. From here, then you get to basically visualize your profile. And the really cool piece about this is a lot of career finders that exist. So like you answer a bunch of questions, but you never really get to see the answers that you answered afterwards. Basically, what you're doing here is you're creating a digital profile of yourself, and then you can stare it in the face, see how it feels. If you want to make adjustments, right, you can go back into the platform, make those edits. But basically, we just want to make sure that when you're looking at your profile, that this feels true to you. And then from there, you can explore superpowers and career results. Now, if you're signing as a guest, this is an opportunity for you to copy to clipboard, to download, right? This is just because you're not going to have the user dashboard because we're not saving any of your progress. This is a good time to click one of these. So if you want it as a text file, if you want to copy it, add it to a Google Doc, this is your opportunity to do that. Once we go here, right, then we're going to have a question that, or just basically a statement that just shows you how this information is being used. We want you to know that like your name, your email, like no personal identifiers are going to be added into this analysis process. Essentially, all that's being presented to ChatGPT is your profile details. So, right, if I was to show ChatGPT my profile details, it has no clue who I am. It could be synthetic data, it could be fake data. We just want you to know, again, that, when we're running this analysis, that your name's not tied to it. And then from here, then we have a quick feedback, and feedback is super helpful. Good, bad, ugly. All I care about is honest feedback because that helps me drive this product and this process forward and make sure that we're, creating something that's truly useful. I'm going to skip it, obviously, because I don't want to enter feedback. But from here, you can see, right, it then generates your superpowers. And being able to see your superpowers is super helpful. It kind of shows you your key abilities, and also too, like, this is part of making good career decisions is understanding yourself. So the better that you understand yourself, the easier and the more likely you're going to make decisions that will benefit you towards your career. So we see this as a self-awareness point of just like, hey, like I can better understand who I am based on my profile. And then once you're done, reviewing that, then you can start exploring careers. And we have 3 different options. You can explore all 3 options like on this next page. I'll start off with emerging industries. So now it's going to start analyzing my profile and creating career results that are a good fit for me. So for here, right, then I can kind of explore which of these feel like a good fit. Product designer sounds pretty cool. Innovation specialist sounds pretty cool. Career development coach sounds pretty cool. For instance, say that I was like, okay, what is ed tech curriculum developer, right? I'm not really sure. So you can click on that. And then what it does is it actually generates then a snapshot of basically a snapshot of this career. You can see why it fits, why it's a fit based off of your profile. What does the day-to-day look like? Entry level salary, right? I had listed that I was a college student. So it's going to start off with entry level salaries. It's going to give you kind of ideas of, okay, if I wanted to get started, what would be a good entry level role to look at? And then from there, then you have realistic steps for immediate next steps that you could take, midterm, and then long term. And then there's some additional resources. And all of that is included for each of these careers. So if you want to explore any of these careers, that's an option. Now, for me, I want to now explore degree based, right? So you have all these tabs you can click on. It's going to create those results. So then, I can click this. Let's see. I don't know. we'll click that one, and then I can also see based on my profile what are good vocational options. And then from here, right? So then you can look, see what feels right. You can select, and then just below it collects all of the careers that you care about. From here, right, you can then shift things around to what feels best. And then once you have this, you can save your results. And of course, if you're a guest, you can download these results just so that they're saved. Um, but once you save your results, then it has another feedback window for how did you feel about the career results. We want to make sure that the career results are feel well aligned with your profile and just the work that you've done. And then next steps, essentially, you can view your profile or schedule a meeting. I love having conversations with people. If you just wanted to talk about the product, I'm all for it. If you wanted to talk about career related stuff or your profile, glad to explore and talk further about that. This is just a free meeting, a free opportunity to connect and talk career stuff. If you wanted to, view your profile, which we'll do, I can view my profile, and then it goes into this assessment window. So from here, right, I can see the history of the session that I had. I can view this information. Also, too, you can see what your personal insights are here. And then if you wanted to take another assessment, right, you could do that. You can just click this button, do that there. One of the cool features that I like about this dashboard is, and again, this is just for people that sign in with Google, you can duplicate your dashboard. So say that you were a freshman in college, you could just say like, this could be, actually, I'm going to rename this to be freshman year. And then, so then if I have freshman year, right, then I could duplicate. So like if say that I was going into my sophomore year, it's like, hey, I want to refine my profile. So I can take my existing profile and then I can go here and then I can do, okay, I'm going into my sophomore year, right? So sophomore year, duplicate that. And now it creates a new session version for my sophomore year. And then I could easily just go into that and refine it. If I'm like, oh, like I have different strengths now, or I have different interests or skills. And then that's kind of a cool way, then you can kind of like cross analyze. And we're going to also be building out additional features just to help you better visualize all of the information that you're building. Because right, like it would be really cool to have multiple years of your profile and then see like a cross analysis of that, of like, oh, over the past 4 years your interests have you know been completely aligned and haven't shifted at all, and that just shows that you have a lot of certainty within your interest. um, but yeah, so I mean, again, for me, this is my mission, my life's goal is to improve the career development system. As probably anybody that's watching this video, honestly, and almost everybody that I've ever talked to, uh, you know, we all see this as a challenge. Why don't we feel like, why are there so many people in society that either feel stuck or feel like they don't know what next steps look like, or they're in a career that they're not happy with, but they're scared to make a pivot because of all the uncertainties and unknowns. And to me, this is not a people problem, this is a system problem. We have to create better processes and create, just allow people to have better tools to better understand and be able to spend time in these spaces to better understand themselves, and to better understand ourselves. Uh, yeah, it's like, if you better understand who you are, then making these career decisions is that much easier, because when you look at this job requirement, if you're working towards this opportunity, you know that it feels right and you have that certainty towards that opportunity. And so yeah, so career discovery is just the first step, right? You are identifying opportunities that could be a good fit. We're going to be building out additional steps that allow you to then challenge these interests that you have and then work towards these career paths that you care about. This is just where we're at right now. But again, I hope you enjoy the product. Of course, if you have any feedback at all, please reach out. Again, this is the work that I plan on doing for the rest of my life. It's amazing how far I've come in just a year. Again, this used to be a Notions page. Like, look back on my channel maybe a year or so ago, and you'll see that video, and it is just insane how far we've come. So, um, I'm super thankful for all the people that I've worked with so far, whether they're people that will eventually be on my advisory board, or then just people that are just part of my core team that I'm hoping in the future, in the near future, I can make, you know, I can make them full-time team members, and yeah, we can just continue building and growing. So um, yeah, I'm sure I'll be making another one of these videos pretty soon. I actually want to get into a better rhythm of making not necessarily like a demo video like this, but just kind of creating different profiles and just seeing what the results are, and sharing them, because yeah, I think it's a very useful tool, and this is a free tool. This will always be free for the rest of existence. So yeah, I'm really excited to put this into the world, and I would love to hear what you think. Um, yeah, until next time.